Hey, what's up YouTube? Today we got a 2011 Acura MDX and the starter is bad. It hasn't really shut off yet, but it's making a noise like after it cranks the car. So the starter is going bad. So the customer went and got this from AutoZone, and this is what it looked like. But we're gonna replace it. And here's the part number. I'm gonna show you a complete procedure. We do need to disconnect the battery, so you're gonna lose memory of the radio code, navigation code, all that is gonna be gone. Got no other choice, already told the customer. And you're gonna see the tools that I use in this particular video. You're gonna see them all, but this is what the starter look like. It has a gear like that. It has a bolt here and a bolt there, so it's just simply 2 bolts. But we do need to disconnect, take out the battery and everything. So 2 bolts, one here, one there. Then you got a connector right here, and then you got this 12mm live power, so that's why we need to take out the battery. But anyway, let's get this job cranking. So let's start off by removing the battery. You're gonna take out this bolt here. This bolt, you're gonna need a deep socket, but now since I have the short one, I just want to loosen up the battery terminals, and I'm gonna go get a deeper socket. Here's a deep socket, deep 10mm, and loosen that up, and loosen this side up. I should loosen these up. These hooks should release. You can see the hooks down there. I'll show you. You see these hooks? There's 2, one on each side. They should release up, and you should be able to take this. Try to keep this in the same direction, so put it the same way. You don't want to put it the other way around. But sometimes you're gonna forget. It's all good. So let's take this guy off, and let's take this guy off. The battery, you should be able to lift out the battery. Nothing to worry about. And that's about it for now. My battery's out. It's on the floor. It's okay. A lot of people will say not to put it on the floor, but it's not gonna hurt the battery for next 20, 30, 40 minutes. All right, so this comes off, and this cover needs to come out. So if you can use both of your hands, that will be easier, unlike me. Camera and this. Or you can put your battery on top of this. It's all up to you. But now, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna try to take out this tray right here. So take out this tray. We're gonna take off this 10 here. Let's take off this 10 right here. This little fuse box. Oh, my bolt fell on the ground, so I'm gonna have to go get that little guy. That'd be the last thing I do. So right here you have a little clip right here. That's part of the harness, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna, I just can't see anything. All right, now we should be able to pop. Oh, what the hell? These are crispy little connectors. We're gonna push back on these tabs and lift up this fuse box. So that's what I'm gonna do next. Okay, got my camera mounted, and we should be able to pop this box out of here. This little guy is always gonna keep bothering us. So let's try to get this guy to pop up, and after that, you should have a lot of freedom in this. So after that, you're gonna have a number 10 here for this thing. For this box here, but we're gonna take off this little tray right here. It has a whole bunch of bolts on the bottom side, but meanwhile what we're gonna do is there's a bolt right here, there's a bolt right back over here. You can see it from right here, from the center point, and we got a little harness. This has a little harness connected right over here, about right there. So you're gonna have to push that. It's a small little tab that looks just like this, and that should come off. And well, you know what? Let me just take off. There's a number 10 here. That comes out. Oh, it's coming back with this. Good, perfect. And then there should be another bolt around over here. There you go. Come on. Oops. I'll fish that with my man. No worries. And then I'm sure there's one more bolt somewhere here. Let me see if I can see it with my light. So there's 2 bolts, one over here in the back that we took off that fell. Well, no, that's the one that did not fall. And there's one right over here. So there's 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3, holding this little guy. You know what? Let's put the light right here. That's better. So there's 1 bolt right down here, straight down here. Okay, gonna need the light. After that, this whole thing is gonna start to move and wiggle around, and there's our number 10mm bolt right there. Let's put that to the side. So now you can see this whole thing wiggles around. So what we're gonna do next is there's a harness connected over here. Let's pull that off. So I'm gonna take off the harness there and one in the back. Okay, so one in the back here. It is a simple starter to do, but you just gotta make a clearance. That's all we're doing here, making a clearance so we could get on top of that little guy. Nah, there you go. That's out. And we got one over here. It's hiding, so I'm gonna go get a pick so I can pick it and push it out. Okay, so this little guy right there, I'm gonna pick it with this pick. You use a flathead screwdriver, gently just, they usually do snap, like that one really snapped. Wasn't expecting that to happen. And after that, you should be able to put this guy out of here. It doesn't want to come out. Why, buddy? Why you don't want to come out? It's budging. So let me get this guy out. Okay, so I got this bad boy out. It has a 12 here, which you can just loosen it and slip it through, but I'll take it off completely. There's a number 12 bolt here, and there's a 12 here, 12 here. There's a harness here, ABS connector here, and then there's a small little harness connected here. So what you're gonna do is, I use this fork to pop this connector off, this connector off. It broke, but it's okay. I'll tie it somehow, some way in the ABS connector down there. And also dropped a few bolts that I had to pick up, and I see one right now. Let's get that guy out of there. There you go. So pretty much 12. There's a 12 here, 12 here, 12 here. Also took off this bolt. It's still in there, but I had it loose, and the whole thing comes off. And right there's our starter. So the starter has 2 bolts that you're gonna reach from right here. But other than that, you got this connector here. Just pop this connector off. Okay, so this connector, you push on this and yank on it. If not, use a screwdriver to push it. Just don't break the connector. And this should slowly come out of it. Make sure you get that in really good when you're putting it back together. And then right over here is your number 12. So it's okay, we have no power batteries out, so nothing to worry about. All right, so we're gonna take off this 12 here. Okay, ratchet is stuck. This is loose. Nope. Oh, I hate this little guy. Ah, change the direction on me. Come on. Okay, it's loose. It's loose. Okay, once it's loose, let's get this off. And after that, all I need is to get 2 number 10 bolts off the starter itself. There you go. Let's push this back here. That can sit there. It's a nut. All right, so 2 bolts, and this thing should be a piece of cake. Okay, so the lower bolt on the starter is 14 millimeter, and I got my 3/8 ratchet right there. And I've been working on this little guy. Got it loose from right here, and this is what I used. 14 short. It's pretty much loose. Let me see if I can. Do not touch the top one, because the top one you can see it from this corner right here, and it's more easier to get to. And that's the bolt that's gonna hold it down for you, so the starter does not wiggle around. And this bolt is pretty long. Okay, and there it is, the 14. This is the bottom one. So the top one, I'm gonna have to fish the top one out. Okay, so got a deep 14 millimeter here with the same ratchet, and let's see if I can figure out the location. Oh, right on the neck. Got it. I got lucky. And the starter's already moving. Starter's already moving. Okay. Let's see how this guy feels about me with the socket. Okay, not good. Okay, from right over here, right the EGR valve, the pipe tube, I am turning the bolt with the small extension, probably 2 inches long extension, and the deep 14. And the bolt is completely loose. So this is what I used. Okay, that's that. Now I'm gonna have to try to get that bolt before it falls, because it's completely loose. Okay, got my pinky and a ring finger on it. Let's see if it comes out with the starter itself. Okay, the starter got this vacuum line right up on the top. I don't even, there's a number 10 over here on that starter. There's a number 10 sitting on the starter. Okay, let me show you where is that. It's right here. This is the number 10 bolt right there. So the bolt is loose, the number 10 is loose. But weight of the starter is on it. I did take off the transmission dipstick, but make sure you don't drop the bolts inside that hole. And you know it, when things happen, they happen. Alright, so we got that off, and this vacuum line, and plus this radiator pipe here is all, come on, light, there's nowhere for me to put this light. It's all sitting on top of that. And there's the starter. There's the starter. So I took out the bolt down here, and there's the second bolt sitting right there. Okay, reverse procedure starts. So let's take this guy off, and you see if your starter was sitting in same position right there. You take this guy off and you mount it to this. It is going to try to fall off, so I would suggest take it easy, slip it in there nicely and easily. Even if you want, take your bolt, stick it in. That will hold it for you a little bit, but it's all up to you. Okay, so the reverse procedure begins, and good luck to this starter and to me all together. So slowly take the starter, and we're gonna guide it right to the, oops, see what happens as soon as you start. slowly. Stop. Going crazy here. Alright, use a little trick, folded that, and it's pushing against that. So now it should be a piece of cake. I'm gonna get this guy to go where it needs to go. Okay, that's the spot. Okay, next step. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off from the bottom bolt because it's easier. The bottom one is easier. For me to align this guy. Okay, so the top bolt is much easier. Right from up here, I tightened it, I already got it. And I gotta tighten the bottom one. So right up above this tube right here. And this is where I'm at right there. And the bottom one is a short one, and then after that, what you're gonna do is make sure this connector goes in and make sure it clicks, okay? And then you're gonna take off this 12 here, and you have a crush washer here. Make sure you take that off, and you're gonna put this in. From here on, everything is a reverse procedure. So everything you took off, put it back together. And make sure you tighten this, and make sure you tighten. I still gotta tighten the other 14 in the bottom on this starter. So this is pretty much done, and I do need to put the 10mm that I took off this little guy. But let me just show you everything, the important stuff, and the rest of it just reverse the procedure. And the 10mm goes onto this bracket here. Okay, so bada bing, bada boom. Okay, they changed the size here. So I'm gonna go get another socket. Okay, got this guy in, and make sure this is tight. And don't buy this ratchet ever from Snap-on. I'll tell you that for sure, ever. Cut your D off, but do not buy this little guy. Ever. Anybody want to buy it? 20 bucks. Even though I paid a lot more than that. 20 bucks is yours. You're supposed to be good to me here, buddy. All right, I'm gonna tighten that, put the cover on top of this, and reverse the whole procedure after that. You're all done.